Hello, happy Sunday. I'm going to treat you all to another episode of Cooking with Heather. And as it is, it's a special episode because it's our 15th episode. Number 15 already, isn't that great? What we're going to do today is we're going to pan do some wild Pacific salmon fillets with onions and potatoes and apples and frozen peas. Doesn't that sound lovely? Anyway, we're going to spray the pans, and it's canola oil cooking spray, so it's edible. And the first thing we're going to do is get the salmon in the pan. We're going to cut it up. We're going to cut the package open. Just going to pull up this frozen salmon. It's frozen, so it'll take a little longer to cook than if it was not frozen. Look at this, yummy salmon. I think we'll just do, well, maybe we can fit another piece in. You know what, we'll cook one in here along with the potatoes and stuff. That'll be a lot better. Anyway, now we're going to focus on, now the salmon is being taken care of, we're going to focus on the garnishes. And since we touched meat, even if it's frozen, we need to do off our hands really quick. Alright, now, as you see, I've already peeled some potatoes off screen. So we're just going to pick these garnishes off. And, you know, we're going to fry the skins to make it look yummy. Potato tidbits, and we're going to try and make some homemade hash browns if we can. Just some simple potatoes, nothing fancy. The same chopping technique I use with cucumbers I'm going to use on the potatoes. And there we have some cool looking hash browns. They're not normal looking hash browns by any means, but we're going to try it. And the salmon is starting to cook. That's just great. And we've got so much good. Just included in this yummy. We're going to use every bit of the potato that we can, otherwise it's waste. And we're going to stick that, you know what, let's stick it in here. Along with the salmon, we've got some lovely, and you know what, we're going to season that before we go any further with some lemon and pepper zest. Some olive oil. And a also going to do some other spices too. We're going to add a bit of parsley. Bit of dill weed. And a bit of bacon bits. Just a bit, because bacon bits are actually very addictive. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Alright, now back to chopping our second potato. Let's just make sure this camera is doing well. This is a fitting thing for our 15th episode, for my 15th episode. It's like amazing that we've already gotten a number 15. How fantastic is that? I'm also going to put an onion in it. The onion, I'm not a general fan of onions, but hopefully it'll turn out good. And the cat's just sitting here all loyal and faithful and everything else. Right, so see how those are just sizzling beautifully? And you know, for good measure, we're just going to toss the peels in. To that one. Because I don't like wasting, so we can use the peels. Certainly we can use the peels. Do the same before we're going to saturate it in this. Put a bit of olive oil in it. Some dill weed. Some bacon bits and dill weed. So we'll turn this down because it's going quite fast. We'll turn this one down too. Right, now we're going to chop the onion. You see the onion's fairly easy to peel. You just have to get all the skimpy parts off. And all we have to do is chop it now. You know, I've never chopped an onion and I will just have to figure out how to do it without cutting myself and slicing the heck out of my fingers. I'm going to use one onion because onions itself are trouble. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect. But I'm so delighted that I get to cook salmon for you. For all of you lovely people. And on the Lord's Day, no less. on the Sabbath when we're expected to use our talents to help others. I get to cook for all of you. Isn't that lovely? Alright, so the onions are in. And now we're going to flip the board and get a new knife. We're cutting some apples in. Isn't that cool? We're cutting some apples in now. And we're going to also wash our hands before we cut the apples. Those are quite worn from dealing with the other. Get out of here, kitty. We have it right here. We're going to use an apple. And we only have one, so we're going to have to make the most of it, aren't we? So here we go. Peel the sticker off. The apple will add a bit of sweetness to it. And you know what? Dare I say that we might add a bit of syrup too. We just very well might. Just because in the sweetness, there'll be a sweet and a lemony portion to the salmon. But we're not going to add too much. And we've also got frozen peas that we're adding. No! Okay, we're done with the chopped portion. Now we're going to add some frozen peas to the mixtures and pray that all goes well. I've never made salmon before, so I don't know what it's supposed to look like. There we go. There's a bunch of peas in that one. And there's some in that one, and there's, of course, there's scattered peas all over the place. However, you know what, that's okay. We end up having to make a mess of cooking now, don't we? We are going to add a little bit of this. It's sugar-free. It's going to add a bit of the syrup. The sugar-free syrup is going to add a bit of flavor. I'm hoping. So let's get that all settled in there. We may have to break up the salmon. Just a bit. And some peas have fallen out, but that's okay. And we'll check on this one too. It's a lot smaller. Turn that up actually, because there's no more cooking that we actually need to do. Just gotta make sure everything's all filleted and making a huge mess, but that's okay. I'll clean it up in the end. Make sure all the potatoes are taken care of. Oh gosh, I hope that tastes okay, because I've never added syrup to a dish of potatoes, and I've never cooked salmon in my life. So let's just pray it turns out okay. I mean, some of the salmon might get broken up, but whatever. It's mostly doing okay. You know, I have no idea what it looks like when it's cooked, so bear with me. Right then, we're going to clean up. I'm going to clean up while the camera just watches that cook. Because it's just, there's not much to do at this stage except watch it cook. So I'm just going to be doing some behind the scenes cleaning and making sure that all is well. Scrubbing off the counters. There. Now you can get a better view of what's going on. No idea if the salmon's cooked. Well, this is such a special episode that I thought I'd try something totally new, totally different. I don't think I've ever cooked with potatoes or salmon before, and I'm happy to try it for all of you now. It's turned into a bit of a stew, but that's okay. I like stew, don't you? And you know, peas and onions and potatoes and oil and syrup and apples, they just make for a lovely dinner, and I hope that they go well with salmon. I mean, it's not my fault the salmon kind of broke in the pan, but that's okay. We will deal with it. I mean, what you're looking at right now is a true work of original food art. So honestly, hoping it's done soon. Honestly, I will confess I have no idea about when salmon's done. But it's looking pretty healthy. It's looking pretty done. Now just watch it cook for a minute. It's a very special video. I mean, number 15. Can you imagine? Number 15. Well, I'm assuming that it's done. Or at least edible. Let's try another piece. There's a little flavor on the face. So I just added some lemon pepper sauce, and I'm going to add a bit more syrup for sweetness. Sugar-free syrup. I don't want to use most of the syrup in one bottle, but that's alright. There we go. Let's just make sure it finds a good home. And you know what? I'm hoping it's done soon. But you know what? I think it is done. So hopefully, I cook salmon fillets, but they're bound to fall apart in the pan sometimes. But that's okay. You can always turn it into a nice stew with some onions and apples and frozen peas and oils and different spices. Now, I'll zoom in on the finished product as a closing, but this has been Cooking with Heather. And I implore you to try some of the things I've taught you so far. I've done it without cursing, and I think I've done a pretty good job. Now, I'm not a chef myself, I'm just cooking by experimentation. And I hope you all have enjoyed what I've taught you so far. Alright, here's a close-up of the food. Oh, you want to see plating, do you? Alright. Well, you know what? Dinner's not for about an hour, so I'm just going to leave it and hope that it tastes good. I mean, I'll taste it again. I would say it's done, so good for me and good for those. Look at those, that's going to turn into a nice whatever I decide to do with it. So, now I believe it's done because I don't want to overcook anything. So we're just going to declare it done. Hope for the best. Right. Okay, we're going to plate. Just for the sake of letting people see how it's done. What we're going to do is just plate it as it is in a bowl, most likely. We're going to put it in a bowl and call it a bit of a stew. See, I'll even show you how that's done. Look at that. It turned into a lovely stew, didn't it? Yes, that's how I'm going to plate it, but I'm going to leave it on the oven right now, on the stove right now, because it is a bit early to be eating dinner. It's only about 4:30 here, but that's what it turned into, salmon fillets and a lot of lovely vegetables and fruit and lots of oil and spices and love. Enjoy!